All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. As a way of introduction, I am JB, as my friends do call me. Today, I will be walking us through a very important topic that a lot of people have been reaching out to me, asking me how Scrum can help them to find true love or relationship. And I think I made a video some time ago about the use of Scrum, that Scrum is not just used for software development. There are tons and tons and thousands of benefits and uses of Scrum, but it seems, and it does appear to me that a lot of people will see Scrum or Scrum Masters as just for IT or, stuff like that. But today I'm just wanted to make a paradigm shift just to give us that overview idea that Scrum could be used for people who are still struggling to find real intimacy or romance, or people who are kind of having some kind of conflict or misunderstanding, miscommunication in their relationship. So perhaps today it could help you to reimagine, re-strategize on how you can set out with your relationship process. Before we go into the content of today, if you are first time visiting me, please, I will encourage you to click that subscribe button, like and share this content. That is what I ask you to help me with. I do appreciate you visiting me today, and I do appreciate you helping me to reach a wider audience. All right, so the content of today is perhaps to let us and explain to us how Scrum could help us, perhaps you as a listener who are still interested in terms of dating, or perhaps you know someone who has been, having been in kind of different kind of relationship problems. You could serve a soul. It could be able to help a friend by sharing this content today. So I would encourage you to sit tight. If you have any question or there's something you want me to explain more in detail, please put that in the comment section and I will try as much as I can to respond. All right, with that said, let's dive into what we got today. I do understand that a lot of people will say, oh, I'm too busy to date at this point. Oh, it's not in my calendar to date. Or I've had a lot of trouble to date. Well, for me, I believe in this idea that, quote, making room for dating is about priorities. If dating is a priority in your life, I believe you always create time for that. Just like we all can't function efficiently without food. So no matter how busy we are, no matter how back-to-back meeting, no matter how, draining our work could be, we always create time to feed our bellies with food, right? So Scrum deals with a number of kind of concepts. The first thing I just wanted to explain here is products. In Scrum, we talk about the product backlog. We talk about the product backlog items. Explain. Product backlog is just a container that houses all of the requirements. As simple as that. Okay. Now, product backlog item means all of those items that go into that container. Here, in this context, right, product backlog, in other words, means the relationship, the ideal relationship you're looking at. That is a product backlog. So what I'm trying to do here is to extrapolate, trying to transition the ideas that happen in the Scrum process as in software development to how that applies for the ideal goal here, which is finding love and relationship. Now, in Scrum, as in IT or information technology or software development, we have what we call the customer. In the context of relationship, the customer is you or your future self. So if in your present situation, you're comfortable and you're ready, then that is, you are the customer here. So if I keep saying customer, just know that I'm really talking to you. Now, what do people actually look for? People are actually looking for a number of things when they are going to relationship. For the context of this presentation, I'm assuming that you're looking for honest connection. right? You are hoping to find someone that you are compatible with, someone you can share your dream with, someone you have that chemistry, that the attraction is there, someone you can share your vision with. That is the ideal thing I'm hoping that you are looking for. In this contemporary period, with the kind of technologies we have, there are a number of challenges a lot of people do have. Well, a lot of people say they are so busy. Well, we are busy. It's either one person is so busy at work and the other person creates time. One person could be the giver, the other person could be the receiver, right? Life without a family is busy. People spend a lot of time based on their priorities. That's what I'm trying to explain here. But if you really prioritize relationship, do believe me, you will always create time for it. Communication. With the advent of technology, with a lot of the technology tools we have nowadays, a lot of people feel more comfortable to communicate via emails, all of the communication tools like WhatsApp, Instagram, and other chats platforms, chatting platforms. People feel like this is a more convenient way to establish a connection, forgetting that we have a traditional way of doing things where people can run into each other either in a grocery store or in a social environment, and then you take it from there. People are so afraid to meet and have that face-to-face conversation. This is one of the challenges we are having in this contemporary period. Again, because of the advent of all of these dating apps, be it Hinge, Bumble, Plenty of Fish, eHarmony, and all of those dating apps. There are thousands and tons of them out there, right? These are the ones that top of my head right now. So people are always in conflict of what are they really looking at or looking for on those social platforms, right? So it's kind of difficult to find a perfect match. And some of the people you might match with are based on the computer algorithms. So would you depend on the computer algorithms to meet your perfect match? It could be a challenge. Okay, so with that established, now you might be wondering how Scrum applies to dating. In Scrum, there are fundamental principles that guides what we do in Scrum. The number one thing when it comes to relationship is to establish your vision. What is your ideal vision? What are you hoping to achieve? In Scrum, we have what is called potentially shippable product increments. What that means is at the end of a sprint is a period where the development team is writing a code. At the end of that sprint, the dev team is hoping to ship something to the clients, to the customer, what could be usable. That is what I mean by potentially shippable product increments. So in this case, you as a person, you are the client, you are the customer, right? So here, there are kind of things you might be able to keep yourself in check. Transposing the idea that happens in Scrum. The first is responding to change. In relationship, there are kind of changes that do happen, right? Acceptance, you might match with someone who might accept you the way you are, wouldn't body shame you, or wouldn't be able to categorize you based on your height, your religious beliefs, or your gender, or whatever. So acceptance, rejection. So it isn't somebody accepts you or somebody rejects you. I mean, you fall into that kind of romantic love relationship you're looking for. Sometimes you go through a heartbreak. Sometimes you establish that chemistry really works, you connect. Sometimes you're embarrassed. Depends how you see it. How do you respond to those kind of scenarios? That's what I'm trying to establish here. The ideal thing there is to fall early and fast. If you are really looking for a perfect time to get into dating, there might not be that perfect time. There might not be that perfect person. So you need to get yourself out there. You need to stop wasting time on someone that you don't have that connection with. That's what I mean by falling fast. So when you are meeting someone and then you realize that this is not going to work. Take action right away. Don't wait. Don't say, okay, you're going to give it. The longer you stay, the more you waste your time. You could meet someone and then things didn't work out. It could be a sort of at the wrong time. You could come back again when you're well refined. Inspect and adapt. In Scrum, we always refine, we always inspect it to see if what the customer asks is what the team is really building. So in this situation, in terms of dating, you're always refining yourself, reviewing yourself, reassessing yourself to become more better, not just for yourself, but for the potential match. Okay. Now, how about the roadmap to finding this love and relationship using Scrum? The first and the foremost is to have a vision. I kind of pointed that out earlier on. Having a vision gives you that idea of what you're hoping to achieve. Having a vision is really important in Scrum. In fact, it is the first thing when it comes to agile or project development. There has to be a business vision. So in dating, there has to be a vision. Are you just going into a relationship to have fun, whatever you consider to be fun? Are you going to a relationship just to make friends? Are you going to a relationship, or are you, getting out there just to date and nothing more than that? Whatever it is your vision. You need to establish that. Now, you need to also have a backlog of requirements. The backlog of requirements in this case means activities you're planning to take or in achieving that your goal. If you do follow my explanation, I kind of established earlier on that in the product backlog, as in Scrum, we have items that are keyed in. Those items are based on the customer's requirements, what the customer wants. It could be in terms of user stories. User stories are basically those functionalities, those features that customer wants to be seen in the product development. In dating, we are looking at these backlog requirements as those activities that you are hoping to execute, those activities you are planning as soon as you're getting to know the person. So one is to have a vision. The vision is what you're hoping to achieve. The second thing is the action or activities you're hoping to execute while you are getting to know the person. The third thing is to use what is called the dating retrospective. Dating retrospective is where you kind of keep refining and asking yourself, you've gone out on a date with this person. I mean, what is really going out? What is really going well? What is not going well? What needs to be well talked out? Most people are finding it difficult to speak up, communicate. They would rather prefer to send a voice note. They would rather prefer to send a text rather than to be able to talk things out. Sometimes talking things out helps a lot, believe me. But some people say, oh, I don't have the balls to be able to talk. I just prefer to shy away. Well, but psychologically, the act of talking has its own psychological impact. The fourth thing is to establish a sprint. And that sprint will be in terms of the short sprint cycle. You might be wondering, what is a sprint? In Scrum, as in software development, a sprint is a period in time where the execution is happening. The development team has done their sprint planning. They have had a conversation on how they want to execute or how they want to work. Now, the sprint itself is when they keep executing those items they have already planned out. Got it? Now, having a short sprint is about you've gone out on a date with this person, okay? You perhaps could be going out to grab a coffee, or you've gone out to have a dinner or watch a movie. Now you after that date, now you're gonna like, okay, what is the next thing? Do you want to meet this person next? What kind of action items do you want to take up next? Do you want to chat? Do you want to text? Do you want to tell him or her how you feel or how that conversation has gone? That is the act of sprinting, right? You are in a cyclic, the conversation is still in sprints. Now, that transition to the fifth step where you use the inspect and adapt, right, to evaluate the qualities this person has, right? You go to your scoreboard and say, oh, okay, he's kind of a proactive person. He's so verbal. He's this, he's that, he's XYZ. Or you can say, or, she's this, she's that. Begin to make some comparisons, the qualities you're looking for. If that really works, then you can decide to take it further. If it doesn't work, then you can decide to withdraw. Okay, so this is where we're going to stop in terms of the explanation. The last thing I wanted to show you is that Scrum Masters and product owners, most of the people who are working in IT sector says, oh, I'm so busy with work, I'm so draining. Believe me, like I already pointed out, that you make priorities, you make time for things you consider to be of high priority. Just to show you in one way that Scrum is not just for IT or for software development. There are ongoing research about how Scrum could be implemented or could be applied in relationship, marriage, family life. Right on this screen, you can see like a screenshot of a website that has been built by Mike Cohn and team. Mike Cohn is the co-founder of Mountain Goat Software, which kind of talks about Scrum and Agile in general, right? There has been an ongoing research about how people can find love using Scrum process. Believe me, Scrum process has helped tons and thousands of people, but most people don't really know. Most people are going into seeking for the advice or the, seeking for the advice of professionals who are relationship therapists. Well, the good news is if you understand the Scrum process, which is very simple, then you can easily manage your relationship life. You can easily find out true love, that person that you are hoping to discover. Right. Okay, so if you have questions, which I am guessing that most people might be wondering, what is this guy talking about? What does JB mean, but you can use Scrum process? Believe me, if there are things I have said today that you're not sure about, or you would love me to explain in more details, please put that in the comment section, or you can also email me info@ineedscrummaster.com, and we can find time to talk about that in detail. All right. The other side of the conversation today is if you think you have a friend who might be interested to become a Scrum Master, or you have had someone say, oh, I'm looking for a place to enroll to become a Scrum Master, believe me, you've come to the right spot. All you need to do is to visit www.ineedscrummaster.com. There are tons of information you can find there. It's a 6-week class where you'll be tutored not just about theory on Scrum, but also to be exposed to the practical parts of Scrum and then to the hands-on experience of Scrum. And this is where we're going to stop for today. I am looking forward to connecting with you in the future. If you like this content, again, please help me to reach a wider audience by liking this, by sharing it on your social media platforms, either on your Twitter, either on your Instagram, or on your WhatsApp, or even Facebook. And let's Scrum together. Thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to have this conversation with you. In the meantime, I hope you stay well. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.